In this video, we are looking at the 5 money habits that will make you and me rich. Let's go. So let's start off with defining what rich is. Rich is having a great deal of money or assets, aka wealthy. But what is a great deal? How much is a great deal? Well, I'm going to tell you before I turn into Noel Edmonds and it turns into a game of deal or no deal. So in terms of earnings or salary, in my opinion, I think you are rich if you are in the top 10% of earnings. But feel free to debate me on that. So the following data that I'm going to quote is from the UK only. So if you want to be in the top 10% of earners in the UK, you have to earn over £54,000. To be honest, I thought it'd be more than that, and I am actually quite surprised at that figure. But it just shows that you don't have to earn loads and loads of money in order to be sort of technically rich. And what I've done because of this is linked an article down below with 20 stress-free jobs that earn over 50k. So if you want to have a nice easy life or low stress jobs that earn over 50k, then the link is in the description to that article. Now, in terms of net worth, if you want to be in that top 10%, you have to have a net worth of over £1.1 million. So in comparison to the salary, that is quite a lot. So moving on, how are we going to do this? How are we going to get into the top percent and become rich? Well, I'm not a financial advisor, but I have done my research on this video, and this is how I think we can get into the top 10%. Number 1 is automation of finances. Rabbit Sethi talks about automating your finance in his book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, which is linked down in the description. He says if you spend more than 1 hour per week on your finances, then that is too much. And I agree, I probably spend 30 minutes or less on my finances per week, and it's pretty good. So what happens with me is I get paid into one account, so my salary goes into this account, and then it gets distributed across all of my other accounts. We've got one account that is split with my girlfriend, and that is the bills account, so it's got the rent, gym memberships and bills, and then another payment goes towards my Monzo, which I can use as my daily spender, and I put a certain amount in there which allows me to live off. And then of course I have my direct debits that take money out in order to invest. So some goes into my training to earn 2, some goes into my pensions, crypto, etc, etc. So all I do is check that these were gone through on the odd occasion, and if they haven't, obviously I will sort that out. But for the last 3 years there's no real issues with my automation process. However, I did actually pay an extra month's rent in the last place, so that was a bit of a pain in the bottom to get that back. So that is the only issue we've had in a long time, but I did get it back, so drinks on me. So you might be thinking, why will automation of my finances help me get rich? Well, there are 2 reasons. It frees up time to do income producing activity. So this is the old argument where if you need to mow your lawn, you could either do it yourself or you could get someone to do it for you. So in this case, what you could do is you could either do it yourself and potentially cost you £100 if your hourly rate is £100, or you could pay someone 25 quid to do it for you. And then you've essentially made a profit of £75 because you've used that hour to do income producing activity. So this is the way that many millionaires think, and this is the way that you should be thinking if you want to grow your wealth. And the second reason to automate your finances is that you can set it and forget it. This is mainly to do with investments, but this is a very important point. You don't really need to be living in the spreadsheet, so you can automate your things and let it do its thing. And by automating your investing, you are less likely to panic sell, you're less likely to get worried when the market goes down. So you can just set it, forget it, keep consistently investing, dollar cost averaging every single month, and at the end of it, take advantage fully of the compounding effect. So the second money habit that will make you rich is in fact reading. And reading to learn about success and people with money and what people have to do with money in order to be rich. So according to this Business Insider article, which is linked below, 88% of rich people devote 30 minutes or more each day to self-education or self-improvement reading, and that most did not read for entertainment. So for example, Jeff Bezos isn't reading Harry Potter to learn about self-improvement and improve his self-education, because all you get from Harry Potter books is learning how to say bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell, Hermione, bloody hell, Hermione, bloody hell, over and over again, which I highly doubt Jeff Bezos used in order to build Amazon into what it is today. For me, I don't read books, but I do listen to audiobooks because I can use them in the car, I can use them at the gym, I can use them washing up, etc, etc. And I personally use one of Jeff's creations, Audible, so if you do want to join Audible, there's a link in the description which will get you a free audiobook and a free 28 days of using Audible. I'm currently listening to Happy Sexy Millionaire by Stephen Bartlett, and I'm really enjoying it and I recommend it to you. So if you do fancy listening to that, then the link will be in the description and it really does help the channel out. And I think that reading/listening to books written by people like Stephen Bartlett are really good because they have been there, done that, they've got the t-shirt, and it really helps you understand the motives and the actions behind these people that become millionaires and people that are overtly successful, and allows you to take bits of these successful people and apply it to your own life, obviously if that's something that you want to do. Number 3 is removing unnecessary expenditure and spending on what you love. So this is another gem from Ramit Sethi's book, and he calls it a conscious spending plan, and this is what he had to say about it. The conscious spending plan isn't about cutting or spending on everything. That approach wouldn't last 2 days. It is quite simply about choosing the things you love enough to spend extravagantly, and then cutting costs mercilessly on the things you don't love. I love this idea because for me at the moment, I personally love the health and fitness centre that we go because it's got a pool, it's got a gym, it's got squash, it's got everything that you'd need out of a health and fitness centre. But it is expensive. It's £70 odd a month, and that is a big chunk of change out of my pocket every single month. But I'm more than happy to spend extra on it because not only do I love it, it is actually keeping me healthy, and the healthier I am, the longer I stay alive and the more money I can potentially make. And to be honest, £900 a year is absolutely pennies in comparison to LeBron James's bill for his healthcare. LeBron James, for anyone who doesn't know, is an American basketball player, plays for the Lakers, and he spends $1.2 million on his health and recovery every single year. So what's 900 quid for me? Nothing. Number 4 is provide value. Any great idea is based off trying to help people. So do that and provide real value in whatever you do. So this is my take on it. All businesses are solutions to problems. So whether you are an employee or a business owner, you need to find a problem and solve it. And when you do find problems, you can almost always monetize it. So depending on how hard that work is for a person, so the harder the work, the more you can charge for. So it's a very interesting dynamic in that way. And once you've got your head around it, you can actually spot the opportunities where there are problems that you could potentially solve. So for me, I have the ability to monetize this YouTube channel, but I'm talking about money and personal finance and investing, because I put in the time to listen to audiobooks that people might find very dry, listen to podcasts, watch YouTube videos, and read books and articles that other people may not enjoy. And hopefully I do a good enough job of taking that knowledge and putting it into a video and making it fun and entertaining, depending on whether you like my jokes, really. And to be honest, I think this way of thinking can be applied to almost anything. So when stuff goes wrong at work, be the solution, not the problem. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. And the last money habit that will make you rich is do something that you love, because that leads to more productivity, that leads to more result, and that leads to hopefully more success, and then hopefully again into more money. And the reason for this is when you do what you love, you can get into what's called the flow state. Flow is a concept identified by a psychologist, which I'll put the name there because there's no chance in hell that I am going to say that. And it describes a state of mind where you can lose yourself in what you are doing. Time seems to speed up and you get things done and you don't even know what is happening around you because you're so focused on this one thing ahead of you. And when you do what you love, you can get into the flow state more easily, which then leads to greater productivity because you're focused on that thing, which leads to better results, like I was saying earlier, and so on and so on. I find this happens to me when I'm writing the scripts. For this video, I wrote 1,200 words in about 2 or 3 hours, and I was just sat there just going, and it's done. And it also happens when editing these videos, and I'm hoping that it's going to happen in a second because I'm in a bit of a hurry. But anyway, let's keep moving. And just a counterpoint, obviously you don't need to love what you do in order to make money and become rich. But I personally think I'd rather wait a bit longer and maybe earn a little bit less doing something that I love and enjoying it rather than not enjoying it and making a lot more money. But that's just me. So that has been the 5 money habits that will make you rich, and hopefully me too. If you've enjoyed this video, please like that smash button, comment some comments, and subscribe to join the donut gang. And of course, if you want some free shares, the links will be in the description. And I'm not a millionaire, but I'm trying to help you become one. So peace.